It's your theme music right there. We recording. Oh.
Power 104.1, The Source, Memphis #1 Southern Soul and R&B station. This is Tate Jones on the microphone. Say it with me now. Tate Jones on the microphone. And I'd like to welcome everybody out to the Tate Jones Show today. Oh, what a beautiful Sunday afternoon it is. I am so excited about our guest today. You know, I've interviewed so many local and national artists, but one of the things I like to get to is the people that are right here in Memphis, in the community, that's doing some positive things. Today we got Mr. Eric Brent, who's the principal at the Trezevant High School. So y'all go tell a friend to tell another friend that Tate Jones is on the microphone. And after these messages, we'll be right back with none other than Principal Eric Brent. Power 104.1, The Source, Memphis #1 Southern Soul and R&B station. This is Tate Jones on your microphone. Say it with me now, Memphis. Tate Jones on your microphone. And we're right here at the Tate Jones Show. So without any other delays, y'all please give a warm round of applause to my guest, Mr. Eric Brent. How you doing today, Mr. Brent?
I'm good. To Mr. Jones, how you doing, man? Thanks for having me.
I am supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, and you're more than happy to have you in the Power Studios today.
Man, I'm just grateful, man. I'm Elephant Lady and Giraffe. Glad to be here with you on this show, man. You've been trying to get me on for quite some time.
Yes.
But so finally we here with Tate Jones on the microphone.
There you go. There you go. Tate Jones on the microphone. And everybody, I want to introduce Mr. Eric Brent. He's a very popular gentleman. He does a lot in our community. Not only in the Memphis community, he's a West Tennesseer, just like I am. You know, and I want to introduce Mr. Brent to you guys and get him an opportunity to speak on some of the things that he have done out of Memphis that's in a positive, again, let me say that again, a positive light. So, Mr. Brent, go ahead and tell everybody that may not know you a little bit about yourself.
Well, Lamont, I'm sorry, Mr. Jones. It's more than a pleasure to be here with you on today. Just a young man from the other side of the tracks in Covington, Tennessee, born and raised, man. Just to a single mom who had me at a young age and just had high hopes and wanted to be able to ensure that I was able to do my purpose in life. And so, of course, coming from Covington, and then moving on, matriculating myself into Lane College and being able to meet so many wonderful people throughout my matriculation at Lane. And what propelled me to be into the career that I'm having now, everybody knows Lane College was a school known for two things: preachers and teachers. And
preachers and teachers, that's right. I got to second that emotion there. As I preach all the time, I am from Jackson, Tennessee. I never went to Lane College, but I had family members, church members that went to Lane College because my home church is Lane Tabernacle. I would say it there, which it is also a Methodist facility.
Yes. And so, just like I said before, Lane College was known for preachers and teachers, so I chose the latter of being a teacher. But they always say that, as educators and teachers and whatnot, we do go in and it's a difficult ministry for as being in the educational world in that sector. And so once I left Lane or whatnot, I went on and continued playing football. And I was teaching in my high school in Tipton County. And it was a word spoken to me that it was my time to be able to transition, and so that's why I able to come to Memphis High School, Memphis, Tennessee, 20 years ago in 2005, and where I landed at at Hamilton High School, where they say love Hamilton absolutely. Man, I had a great time there. Where thanks to the great legendary Keelan Lawson, he found me out there in Covington and brought me down, and we did some extraordinary things at Hamilton High School. We won a state championship the first year I was there.
Oh, wow.
39-0, unprecedented.
How about, did you say 39-0?
39-0.
Man, we got to get that a round of applause.
Yes, man.
Wow.
Dynamic team, man. We had some that year. We signed 6 D1s that first year.
Wow.
Like I said before, man, those guys was remarkable. I was a young guy. I was 23, 20. I was like 24, 25 years old. And, man, Jeremy Williams, Joseph Watkins, Devion Hunter, Devin, Boo Micey, which is Myron Strong and Roger Gilchrist, Paul Hagler, Denario Robinson, Don Law, Trevor Dixon, man, the list go on. Sean Thompson, man, my ninth graders I had that year. Freddie Jackson, man, Tim Wright. We had, man, I'm talking about, man, talent was through the roof. But like I said before, we won with 39-0 that season. We ended up playing in the Chick-fil-A Classic in South Carolina. Be some prominent teams in there.
Oh, wow.
Some guys that still in the NBA today, like those players that played in that term. Steph Curry was in that term we was in. Just seeing him as a kid and seeing the talent that we had here in the Memphis area. Like I said before, I did 3 years there and then went on and continued my educational path and went on to Hillcrest for 1 year and then went to Overton High School where I learned a lot about schools for the instructional sector of how schools should be ran. And so which propelled me just in one day didn't know that people's always watching you. And so, man, Mr. Corey Kelly called me one day and he said, I want you to come with me to Trezevant High School. And he said, man, to be my eyes and ears and be able to help me transform that culture. And that's the day that changed the scope for me.
Oh, wow.
Yes, going to administration because, man, I never knew that the path or the vision that he laid before me would put me as being the principal of that school today.
Well, let me ask you this question. When you was back in Covington, let's say high school, junior high, did you imagine that you would be a teacher and eventually an administrator in education?
Definitely a teacher. I remember in the 8th grade, I told my mom that I wanted to be a teacher, man. Initially, I was at Beta Club, and I never forget this. And we was in Beta Club. We should go read to the kindergartners, and so of course down there was nothing but women teachers down there. And in my elementary school, we was K through 8, and so we was the first class of middle school. So you think about this, like 1993, my 8th grade year, and so I went home and told my mom. So my mom said, "No," she said, that's not too manly right there, being a kindergarten teacher. So, of course, I had to change that trajectory. I said, oh, yeah, okay. I understood what she was meant at that time.
Exactly.
And so I was like, man, because I had, of course, my first African-American teacher was my 6th grade teacher, Mr. Isidore Nunley. He was from Jackson, Tennessee. And so that was the first time I seen a black man being a teacher.
Wow.
And then, of course, I realized the great Mr. Russell Houston was a teacher. And so he was in my hometown, so a mentor of mine. But of course, man, Mr. Darryl Rozelle, the late great Pastor Darryl Rozelle, was my next door neighbor. He told me at an early age that, man, that it was anointings on my life as a kid. And of course, I didn't understand. My friends didn't understand or whatnot. He said, but man, wherever you put your eyes and your sight to, you'll be able to turn the goal and be able to do it. He said, just make sure you do it with conviction. Okay? And so that's how it was. And so I knew then, like I said, I wanted to be an educator at an early age. Right. And so, man, that's some of the things I knew for a fact. I never thought to be a principal. No, I did not see that coming. But teacher, yes.
Right.
And coach, because when I got to high school, the late, great Joseph King, man, I used to emulate him all the time when I was in school. So, of course, yeah, coaching and teaching was in my passion and things.
Yeah, speaking of on the coaching side, you said that you played football. Were you a star in high school?
Man, no, I was terrible, man.
What?
No. So, for high school wise, yes, I was a pretty good athlete. I led in football, basketball, track, and like I said, I was a baseball player too, growing up too. And so when I was in high school, I had to make a decision after my freshman year. So I gave up baseball, and then I ended up playing baseball in college too. And so when I got to college, I just did football and baseball and track in college also. But for high school, I was pretty good. I started on varsity as a true freshman. Then, like I said, my senior year, I had a terrible senior year. When I say terrible, I tell people that a lot of times that you have to go through some things in life. And so that's one of the reasons how I ended up at Lane College. Okay. When I say that is that it was a path that I didn't know at that time that I would end up at Lane. But coach came in my senior year and he benched me. That was a wake-up call for me. He benched me. And I wasn't one of those athletes that I didn't want to practice. I didn't have those. I wasn't a prima donna. I worked hard each and every day. But he came in my senior year as a new coach, and he wanted to have big room for his team. And so when I got inducted to the Hall of Fame at Lane College, man, I actually thank Coach Jeff McFerrin for benching me. And some people said, man, how you gonna think somebody that bench you? I said, because I would never be where I'm at today for as a trajectory for athletics, going to Lane College, because that shifted me from being a Division I athlete that I was getting, offers and things like that, and then schools backing up off me. Because one thing I can tell kids today and tell students or whatnot, I tell them, I said I never was an athlete that didn't have grades. Because first of all, my mom's gonna put me off the team.
There you go.
Yeah, she wasn't playing, so grades, ACT, I had all that. It's documented. So, so when I get them going to Lane, getting recruited to go to Lane College, and shout out to Miss Evelyn Brown. She was the college recruiter for Lane College at the time.
Okay.
And she brought it, came to the school for our career day. You know how it be on senior, your high school.
Right.
You kind of like, man, I'm straight. I ain't going over the way. And she was like, excuse me, young man. She said, can you tell me the restroom at? I said, yes, ma'am. Just go down the hall right there. She said, well, what's your name? I said, Eric Brent. She said, hey, I got something for you at my table. She said, when I come back, come over. So, of course, I never did go back over. I was walking around trying to be the man I wanted to be, just messing about, just, being a senior in high school.
Right.
And never forget, she came back and tapped me on my shoulder again. And she was like, did I tell you to come to my table? And I went to her table, and she had a box. And so she reached up on the table, pulled out, and she had this envelope. She said, this your name right here, you Eric Brent, right? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, I was told to bring this to you. And I opened it up, and that was my letter of intent, my award letter, and all that stuff. And I was like, how? Like, man, I never applied the language. What you told me? And I always tell people that for us, divine, the divine light for us, the source of the power of God, man, is how things happen. So that's how I end up.
That's how you end up at Lane College. So now that was more of an academic scholarship, or
no, football.
That was football. It's for football. Okay,
actually, it was
great.
football and basketball.
Okay.
But when I got to Lane, I was a 5'11" power forward. so man, but now I was a guard, but for the system we ran in my high school, man, we had Coach Field. Shout out to him, man. He's second in charge at Tipton County Schools. Man, he was just one of those guys that he was like, you want to be, I need athletes. And so by me being a football player, and the other guys was primarily basketball guys, like my guy shout out to Keon Stowers, Toby Smith. He played football with me also, but we was only football players that was on the team and competing. So Jeremy Edwards was a stud on the team. You had famous recording artist right now, Tony Ross, aka White Knot, Southern Soul artist.
Here you go.
Yeah, I'm plugging my guy in. And so we had a good team. Jeff Taylor, man, the late great Marcus Logan. Like I said, man, we had some key pieces: Terrell Jones, William Powell, Carbo, Ryan Kaiser. So we just had some guys that would play basketball, man. So coming in, Coach Fields was like, man, you can move to the 3 and the 4. And I was a point guard, and I was like, very athletic. Like I said, jumped out the gym, football player. I was strong, athletic.
Right.
I didn't mind. I just wanted to play. And at that time, right there, it's just, man, you just want to be on the floor and giving your all. When you play for a small town, it's just the pride of the city, the pride of the county. You just had that dog in to go out there each and every day to compete, and so that's what I did.
Man, that's all right. Now, were you more of a leader or a follower on your team?
Man, I always been a leader, man, always. And that shout out to my homeboy, man, Eric White and James Somerville, Joseph Smith, Derek Hall, man. I had some great friends, and I always, tell my students, my scholars this right here, that, man, what y'all lacking right now is great friends. But I was a leader. And so, man, guys knew that some things I wasn't a part of. Like, to this day, at 46 years of age, man, I've never drank or smoked in my life.
Oh, wow.
And so, man, but if I wanted to, those guys was there to tell me, nah, Eric Brent, man, this ain't you.
Right.
Man, and so once again, I was always a leader, though, man. I was a leader.
That's great. That's great. Well, we have definitely enjoyed the conversation, but we got to take care of a couple of bills right here. So we'll be back right after these few messages on the Tate Jones Show. And we're back on the Tate Jones Show. If you are just joining us, we have Principal Eric Brent from the Trezevant High School, and he's been going through his career and what influenced him to be an educator. Now, on this segment of the show, I want to go into a project that you released this year. Can you tell us about that project?
Sure, Mr. Jones, man. So going to this year, man, good colleague of mine, good friend, Dr. Trent Watson. Shout out to him, principal of Westwood High School. He was inspired by his late mother, man. He wanted for a book that he should be doing some years ago, and so his mom passed last year, and so that's something that fueled him over the last year or so. And so he asked myself and three other people to be able to co-author this book, man, Bridges and Breakthrough: The Effective Employee to the Effective Educator. And so with the book that we was able to release this summer, I had a role in playing in that, writing a chapter in the book, chapter 4. And go get that copy. That book is on Amazon. It was #1 for several weeks on Amazon, and so that and we did pretty well. We're on several book tours, and went around. So now we're in the phase right now of doing professional development, where I represented this summer also at the Leadership Institute this summer. So Dr. Watson himself, he just came back from St. Louis and did a piece. And currently right now, the other authors in the book is the Principal of the Year, Dr. Renee Meeks, who's at Seattle, Seattle Elementary School. She's done extremely great things over there. Dr. Shannon Cotton, she's at Holmes Road Elementary. She's doing great things out there. And then last but not least, the famous one from New York, New Jersey, in that area, Dr. Zandra Glover. She's at Hanley. And so all those heavyweights was putting into this book that Dr. Watson had with his vision, and we just came together and came with one common book, man. And I'm talking about, when I say it's powerful, it's a very powerful book. And so right now, I would love for you to be able to bring Dr. Watson on the Tate Jones, or bring the whole group on.
Oh yeah, and we definitely had to get that done.
Yes, we like I said, we did other broadcasts before for us, the district from Memphis City Schools, Memphis Shelby County Schools, with 88.5 with Michael Adrian Davis. So we'd love to do the Tate Jones show. This is
without a doubt.
Tate Jones,
now,
baby.
Now tell us a little bit more about the book. What is the book all about?
So when you're dealing with educators, that forced education is so broad, and be able to get it. So my particular chapter was dealing with stakeholders, and so how to be able to get everyone involved. I tell people that it's 4 steps you have to make sure you understand. You got to understand the law of the land, and when you have the law of the land, it means that when you first come in, like when I came into your studio today, Tate Jones, I look around. When I didn't go around and say, well, let me touch this button and that button.
Right.
I just sat here, and then I let you do what you was able to position the mic. You was able to show me around. You were able to make sure we did the sound checks and that.
That's right.
And then the next thing is about being effectively communicating. So now that the dialogue that we're having right now, and so that when you have this dialogue, to be able to use this platform that you have here, like I've been noticing you for the last several years, you've changed the game for us, the Soul to Soul, for us, the radio station.
That's right.
This is the first time I've heard of anyone having a Southern Soul station that I listen to. Get those artists like what's the name, Pokey Bear, and Marcellus Wiley, and what's the name, my guy, we were just talking about him earlier.
King George.
King George,
KG.
Can't stay too long.
Can't stay too long. There you go.
You gotta keep moving. And so then next, you gotta understand this. Of course, you gotta be massive. And so with be massive, you believe everyone make academic strides. So I value education. So when you tie those things together, I'm real big on acronyms. And so you put it into drive. So you gotta take that gear shift and put it in drive. So of course, with like yourself, Tate, is that with drive you have the devotion. Or devoted. So you're devoted to your cause right now. Your cause is for us is Power 104.1. So the same thing with educators, when we was devoted to this book that we was doing. And then it's the readiness, which is the R, the readiness or whatnot. So are you ready to launch? And so when you started your station here for us Power 104, you was ready. You were devoted to your cause, and so now you're ready. And so now it's for the readiness. It's one of the key components for this book or whatnot that we did. Then, of course, with if you take the word drive, with the I is the investment. Tate, I know that it's cost you a lot to be able to get this going, but I know you're reaping the benefits. I can tell that smile on your face right now. Man, you got some new yays, some new yays. But the investment piece. And so when you're dealing with education, we invest in our scholars daily. I shared with a group of kids on yesterday that I was saying that for as each one of them, they're making money while they're sitting in that seat. Even though for as the funding that we get for each child, per capita for us in that seat or whatnot, but we're reaching, but they're an investment. And so now that they'll be able to capitalize on the investment that we're making in them, and not just monetary, but for as education wise and being able to get that. Like in my particular school setting, students are being able to get trades. I have the Tennessee Home Builder Association in my building, so now students are being able to get certification for being a construction worker. They're being able to get jobs while they're in high school for it.
Man, that's great, right
About
there.
being a realtor. Yeah. So I mean, this is the investment piece. This is one of the few of the components that we have, especially when we get ready to move into this new facility that we have. We have a new school that's being built, and we should be moving in the fall of 27.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah. So then next last is the vision. So the vision that they be able to see that's clear, a clear vision. I tell my scholars all the time, you must embarrass the inception and exceed the expectation. And so I said that again, you embarrass the inception, you exceed the expectation. And so right now is that 38127 is one of the poorest zip code in the state of Tennessee. And so now when you see that a scholar come out of Trezevant High School and has $15 million in scholarship money, they have exceeded the expectation.
Okay.
So they be able to understand the true vision that we've been able to lay for them. And then last but not least is when you say exercise, you have to be able to exercise your mind. And so when you exercise your mind, it means that now that you're expanding all of the resources, expanding. I mean, you have to tap into it.
Man, that is so rich. I mean, that is a really rich acronym. I really like that. Now, let me ask you about the new school. Is that close to the old school, or is it?
So the new school will be built at the old Fraser High School. It's on Delwood.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not far. I mean, it's like within minutes, 3 to 5.
I think I know what area right there.
So it's the old Fraser High School, which they turned into Martin Luther King Prep or Legacy.
Right.
Martin
Right.
Luther King
Okay.
Prep. And so yeah, we're moving to that campus. Like I said, we're now they've demolished the old campus, and so now they're able to the architecture to that new building is going up pretty swiftly. I drive by there daily to be able to visualize what's going on and see myself being there for years to come.
Okay. Now, have you ever watched that show called Abbott Elementary?
Yes, I have seen it.
Can you relate with some of the issues?
I mean,
Things they have on the show?
It's funny, but some of the things that I see that's not happening in schools.
I know they're elementary versus high school.
What's the guy on there from what Everybody Hates Chris?
Yeah.
But no, it's I mean, it's similar. Some things that's similar, but no. Each day that you go into that community that I go into, it's rewarding. It's one of the things that is eye opening. I'm able to see various things to be able to transform generation as a transformational leader that I am. I try to make sure that I have inclusive leadership, and so that I'm able to understand those and meet them where they are.
Now, let me ask you this. For your teaching career, were you always in high school, or were you ever in junior high or elementary?
So I've always, always been in high school.
Okay.
This is my 23rd year. I've always been in high school. What I have
we can't just walk past that. 23 years. We got to give it up for you. Congratulations on that.
23 years, man. This is year 23. Like I said before, I was just in the summertime when I was a summer principal. I did it at Chimney Rock Elementary, so I've worked in the elementary school in the summer, like 4 schools like that. But for as the traditional setting for day-to-day operations, I've been in high school for the last 23 years.
So roughly, how many students do you have over there at Trezevant?
Right now, we're over 900 scholars right now.
900 scholars.
Yes,
Wow.
900 scholars right now.
Yeah, I like that word scholars versus student. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, because I want you to be able to have scholar attainments. And so the thing about it when you have scholar attainments is that you have like-mindedness. That one thing we always try to make sure that our scholars understand is that to have a growth mindset and not have a fixed mindset. Like I said, one of my behavior compliance associates at school, Mr. Brent, he always tells me once you cross that T, nothing else matters. And so once they get across there, man, their minds should be expanded, be able to exercise their mindsets daily.
Okay, well, we get ready to take one more commercial break to take care of a few bills here, but we'll be right back with Principal Eric Brent right here on the Tate Jones Show. And we're back on the final section of the Tate Jones Show right here in Power 104.1. And if you hadn't been listening, if you're just tuning in, we got Principal Eric Brent, principal over at the Trezevant High School over in Fraser, correct?
Yes, sir.
Fraser High School.
Bay Area.
The Bay Area. Okay, I've
Bay
heard that.
Area.
You know, when I first moved to Memphis, I was really puzzled when they said the Bay Area. Now, do you know why they call it the Bay Area?
Honestly, I do not. I've heard some things, but man, I do not know what they really call it the Bay. Someone said it was a lake or some other river or something like that was like over there. So I've heard that before, but I really don't know the true reason why they call it the Bay.
Now, I know you're really going to enjoy that new high school when y'all finally get in there.
Most definitely. It's state of the art. Like I said, just being with the architects and the project managers and other people that's been able to help alongside to pick out certain items for the building. Okay. Right now, we haven't got the true official name yet, and we have not got the we have the colors going to be purple and gold. Oh, well, royal purple and old gold.
Oh, if you look at Power 104 logos and everything, you know that has a little association with us as well.
Yes. And so like I say, it's just a great thing. I'm just glad that we were able to go into that new facility. Shout out to Vice Chair Commissioner Stephanie Love, our board member of District 3. It was her vision, and with Mr. Corey Kelly and Mr. Bobby White, they sat down and met, and they wanted this to move forward. And so I have the unmitigated nerve to be able to continue their vision and be able to do this work every day. This is hard work that we have to do, especially with our new superintendent, Dr. Roderick Richmond, who's a Trezevant alum also.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he's a Trezevant alum, and our regional superintendent is over my Northwest region, Dr. Terrence Britnam. Those individuals give our kids hope each and every day to see that you can be able to be successful coming from the 38127. And so to be able to go into this new facility, to be able to have one Fraser, that is tremendous, man, because like I said before, we had to merge with Legacy MLK, and so we didn't have not one hiccup when it happened. Normally, when you have those type of transitions, you have certain miscues or whatnot, but we did not, and so we able to go in there and be reflective. Each and every day, my admin team with my vice principal, Ms. Lisa Moore, my assistant principal, Ms. Latita James, my assistant principal, Mr. Carson McClellan, my PLC coach, Ms. Jamila Black, and my wonderful counseling team. Last school year, we was able to merge with Ms. Cretswell, Ms. Williams, Ms. Fraser Brown, Ms. Shamel Jones, and so we was able to do the work, man, get in and grind it out to be able to iron out those misconceptions and be able to have a productive year last year. Knowing that last school year we graduated 182 scholars last year. Yeah.
So Memphis, believe me, there are positive things that are going on here. It's not all bad.
Yes, most definitely. Right there, greatness grows here, man. And like we said before at Trezevant, why not? And the why not stands for your narrative, Trezevant. And so we had 43 million scholarship money.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Drea Barlow had 15 million by herself.
Wow.
And so she's right now she's actually a sophomore at UT Martin right now, going in. So when technically most people they just graduated high school in May, they'd be freshmen. She's already a sophomore.
Already a sophomore.
Yes. So it just like I said before, we continue that on, and so this year we've added the components for it. We're an early college site, so now our scholars leave every day and get transported to Southwest Macon campus. So right now, like I got 30 kids going there every day.
So they get college credits?
Yeah, we already had to do an enrollment anyway.
Okay.
So now they're getting a true college experience.
Wow.
And so our scholars are each and every day, so it's different. I had a conversation with a student the other day. I know today is Sunday, so that was like last week. And this young scholar, she was just like, Mr. Brent, I don't know nobody. I like get to use in the world. It's what it is. I mean, so she's taking 2 courses, intro business and communications. And so I said, utilize those skills in those 2 courses because she wanted to be a designer, a fashion designer.
Okay.
I said, so now I said, you got to think about your new clientele. And I said, this is going to go prepare you for that next avenue. And she said, Mr. Brown, I didn't think about it like that.
Wow.
So it's something that's small. We had to make sure that our scholars know the difference is. You got to be able to leave some people behind because everybody can't move forward with you.
Let me ask you this question. Now, you mentioned that you have 900 students. So with 900 students, what type of staff do you have for us amount?
So right now, man, glory to God, this year we was able to be fully staffed when school
wow.
opened.
That's good.
Last year, like I said, our enrollment increased tremendously on last year, and so we didn't get to 900 till later on, but we wasn't fully staffed beginning of the school year last year. So when our students went into this school year, this was the smoothest transition that I've seen since I've been in the district. And that's a credit to the district leaders that we have. Miss Alicia Counter, she's our chief academic officer. So we had a true plan this school year going in academically. Like I said before, shout out to the district leaders, Dr. Whitelaw and the team and whatnot. I'm talking about this year they was truly had us prepared when school started. Man, we had a great leadership institute back in June, and so it was just one of those things. We knew that as a staff that we had to make sure that we had everything in, and so like I said, got a lot of new teachers came in. When I say new, we didn't have any first year teachers that we hired. These were people that were seasoned vets. I had to say it like I talked to my staff. I said we had with the free agent. We got some LeBrons.
There you go.
And so we got some people like that to come in, and they're real educators, passionate about the life of education. And so our students on the first day of school came in we had some walkthroughs by a district official. They're like they really got instruction going on day one. And so that's a testament of what we are doing here, just not only for my team, but for the district leadership also.
Okay. So let me ask you this question. For any students that may be listening right now that are pondering what they want to do for the rest of their life, what word would you give them if they are even pondering getting into education?
First, I would just tell them grow out on the limb. That's where the fruit is. Most people don't want to climb that mountain, but just sit down. And so, in this day and age, everything is at your fingertips.
That's true.
It's at your fingertips. So, I mean, be able to be able to surf your mobile device, your laptops, your iPads, but also I challenge them to be able to sit down and to speak with their counselors, their administrators, and their parents, because there's so much out here that they could be able to do and only be able to dream about. Who would have told me 30 years ago that I could be able to use a mobile device? We wouldn't even call it a mobile device; it was called a telephone,
right?
And be able to just type in Tate Jones and Power 104 pop up.
Exactly.
And so that's one of the things, but I just want to tell you, man, Tate Jones, man, you look at yourself right now, you never thought you would be a man.
That's true.
The mogul that you are right now. And so,
trying to get there.
So, I mean, this is a vision.
It is.
Truly a vision. So one of my sentiments to those scholars is, man, just sit back, reflect on what you really want to do with them. Trust me. Is a true calling for you to be able to be who you are destined to be.
Well, I tell you what, as we're about to wrap the show up, I would like you to give out the information again about the book, the name of the book, where they can purchase the book at.
Yes. So Bridges and Breakthroughs, the shift from the effective employee to the effective educator. You can go get it on Amazon, or you can contact myself, Dr. Trent Watson, Dr. Shannon Cotton, Dr. Zandra Glover, and the great Dr. Renee Meeks. Like I said before, we are all at the various schools here in the Memphis City area. But once again, Amazon.com has that book. And go to our website, Bridges and Breakthroughs.
BridgesandBreakthroughs.com or just Google?
Okay. Yeah, you can Google it also. But like I said before, I'm on Instagram. I always striving for more. I'm on Facebook, Eric L. Brent. Like I said before, my email is ericbrent37@hotmail.com. Yes, I'm the only person in the world still at Hotmail. Yes.
Hey, you know what? I got a Hotmail account.
Hotmail is effective right now.
Now, before we get off, I also know Mr. Brent because we are part of the same great fraternity as well. The bros are in the house.
Rude to the Q's.
Rude to the Q's.
Shout out. Shout out to the bros. Kappa Sig, Lane College.
Yes, sir.
Sigma Lambda. Where is that?
You better believe it. So, Brent, we definitely appreciate this time that you've given to us. So
I thank you. I thank you for having me, though. Like I said before,
it's a pleasure.
I look forward to coming back again.
Definitely. And so I really hope that something that you have said today have ministered to a young person that's listening, minister to just a general Power 104.1, the source audience. Because one thing about Power 104, we are the people's station. So we like to lift up the local artists. We like to give the mom and pop shop an opportunity to advertise on the FCC airways. You know, I know everybody's online, but these are the FCC airways. Radio is not dead. It's still here. We still got a purpose right here. Mm-hmm. So before I get off the line, I want you to say this with me. This is Tate Jones on the microphone. Say it with me now.
This is Tate
Jones on the microphone.
When I say VO, you say ice. VO. Ice.
Power 104.1, the source, Memphis #1 Southern Soul and R&B station. This is Tate Jones. And until next Sunday, I'll see you next time.